everyone. Welcome to December. We are well and truly in Christmas silly season now, and we thought what better way to celebrate than to invite our marketing team onto the podcast. So I'm really excited to have Ellie, our newest team member in marketing, who is in Adelaide, and Jane, who is our oldest marketing team member, who's been here with me for over 5 years, and Anna, who's been with us for about 2 years, who is from Brazil and lives on the Sunshine Coast with Jane and I. So welcome, girls.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we thought we would finish by talking about Canada, because Jane and I have just got back from Canada, and it was such an awesome trip. And I know we brought you a great episode while we were there, and the trip was still going. We still had lots of things that were happening. So let's start by talking about that, Jane. What was the final kind of weekend highlight for you? What did we get up to?
Yeah, so I think last time we chatted, we were sitting there in the hotel room in Toronto about to embark on the 3-day show at the National Women's Show there in downtown Toronto. And it was a great 3 days chatting to locals, similar to what the same format like we did in Vancouver. But yeah, it was obviously the 3-day show. We chatted to heaps of people. Again, the consensus was, this is so exciting. We were there talking about obviously the laundry lady services that would be coming soon for busy, residential and business customers. And then also the opportunity to come on board as a contractor. And again, a lot of excitement around that. So yeah, lots of fun. Busy, hectic.
It was so busy, wasn't it? It was a really busy 3 days at the show, but it was great. Like, just so many great people to chat to and tell them all about bringing Laundry Lady into Ontario. And it feels like a bit of a lifetime ago now already, since we were there in the hotel room filming our last podcast, and it was much cooler weather than what we've come back to in Queensland, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I think we've had to do the old Canada trick of the wardrobe turnover, where we've just had to wash our jumpers, put them all away, and we are definitely not wearing jumpers here unless it's an ugly Christmas sweater.
Yeah, literally, I put all my jumpers directly into storage after we got home, because we came back to like sort of 40-degree heat, and I think in Toronto it would have been -7 on our coldest day when we were there, so it was a bit of an adjustment for us. But we did miss all the snow. It snowed before we got there, and then it snowed after we left. We had a tiny little flutter of snow while we were there, but that was kind of it, wasn't it? So we're a bit jealous that we missed all of that.
Yeah, but we were there for, the Christmas feel, as we said last time, with the, moving from Halloween into Christmas. So we did get to see that and go to the markets and those sort of things. So in amongst all the work.
In amongst all the work, yeah. We loved those Christmas markets, which were very, very crowded, weren't they? Like, it was absolutely
Very
insanely crowded. We got there and there was a queue that was about an hour long just to get in, and then you couldn't even move inside. And I was really excited when we were in the queue to go in, because we saw an Australian business that was located right next to the markets. Grace Loves Lace. So I was excited by that, seeing another Australian business that we know well from Queensland as well, who were based there.
Yeah, no, that was exciting. You were taking photos of the building and people like, what are you doing?
And then we did the long trek home, which was, it felt like 3 days of traveling, really. It was probably only 1.5, but it felt like 3 getting home. And I don't know about you, but I was super jet lagged when I got home. Much worse coming home than it was when we went over there.
Yeah, definitely. And because we obviously had that, across the country stint as well, from Toronto to Vancouver, then the layover, and just, losing our minds at the airport, and then hopping on the midnight
losing our minds at the airport.
I don't know what day it was, whatever year it was, and then back to Brizzy, and then you had to drive to the Sunshine Coast. I'm like, yes, I can just sit here.
Yes,
we're back.
It felt like it went for a long time. Yeah, and we come back, hit the ground running, coming back, both at home and at work. I think when you go away for full weeks. There's a lot of life that admin that happens while you're away and that you've got to catch up on. I know like there've been big storms on the Sunshine Coast and my house seemed to be falling apart in maintenance and all of those things. So it was, really stressful actually coming back to trying to get on top of all of that, plus get back into work as quickly as possible because things were just going crazy with Canada since we've been there, haven't they?
Yeah, no, they have. Like, obviously, we're over there doing the events and then the marketing shoots as well, like the photo shoots and the videography, in order to lay the foundations for that and start recruiting. And it worked, didn't it? Because we've come back and we've had how many applications
We've had
and
just over 500 applications already to
yeah.
join the team of Laundry Ladies and Lads in Canada, which is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, when we were starting out in Australia, it took us a long time to get that kind of interest. So it's been absolutely amazing. We're really, really excited. Applications all through Vancouver and Toronto and in other parts of those provinces as well. And so we've Danielle, our regional manager, has been madly going through all those applications to try and get some of those contractors up and running, and we're very, very close to being ready to service our first customers.
Yeah, so at like that women's show, the last one we are at, people are like, "Oh, so can I log on now and book my service?" And we're like, "Not this second, but very, very soon." And I think that's definitely a reality now. Very, very soon, people will be able to book.
Yes, yeah, any day now, which is very exciting. So, so it was a really great success, and now we're back and just getting well and truly into the Christmas spirit. So we thought it would be great to have a little chat with the rest of our marketing team today, talk about the Christmas campaigns that we've got going for Laundry Lady, and then also just talk about what Christmas is like for each of us, because we have a few nationalities in our marketing team as well. Ellie and Anna, do you want to tell us about the marketing campaign that we've got running for December for our customers in Australia and New Zealand?
So yeah, we have some giveaways in Australia and New Zealand. We are giving two lucky people gift vouchers. They will be $150, so it will be really helpful during this time of the year when things get really busy. And we are also creating content with some influencers in Australia, so yeah, we have some exciting things going on this month.
I mean, I can't think of a better present than the gift of laundry. I'll tell you what, when I came back from Canada, the first thing I did was make sure my laundry lady and lad were coming and picking up all my clothes so I could just hand it straight over to them, straight from the suitcase, and not have to worry about it, which was awesome. It's a great present for people if you're still thinking about gifts for this Christmas. Gift vouchers really go down a treat. You've just been checking out our services for the first time too, Ellie.
Absolutely. And I was just thinking because my mom is actually visiting from France. And I don't have to worry about having to do our laundry, having to do her laundry. So when traveling as well, just visiting family is just such a good thing that I don't have to worry about that. We can worry about all the very yummy dinners that we can have and just all the things the places that we can explore. But no chores, nothing. So that's awesome. I absolutely love it.
It's the last thing she'll want to do after getting off a plane for 30 hours to get here. So Ellie, you are the newest member to our team, and we haven't met in person yet. We just talk online, but it feels like you've been here a long time already. It was really great, I think, when Jane and I were traveling, to know that you and Anna were able to be here and just continue getting everything running for us in marketing. And so you obviously have an accent. So tell us where you are from originally, and let's talk about what Christmas is like there.
Absolutely. So it's actually funny because a lot of people ask me where I'm from when they hear my accent, and they don't necessarily pick it up straight away. I think it's because I have been here for about 14 years, I think, 13, 14 years. And I learned English in the country, so I picked up a bit of the Australian accent rather than, the UK or American accent, for example. So I am from France originally. I was born and raised in Paris, and then I moved here about 13 years ago, and I lived in Sydney for most of my time. And then last year, my husband and I moved to Adelaide because he's in the Air Force. So it's been lovely to be able to, get to know a few other areas around Australia and get to live the different culture across states as well, because here it's very, very different as well. And so I was thinking about it just before, and I believe that I have spent about 13 Christmases in Australia. So ever since I've been here, I haven't spent a Christmas back home, back in France. And some people might think, oh, don't you miss a white Christmas and this and that? But we don't actually get white Christmases much, particularly in Paris. Usually the snow would arrive a little bit later on. So January, February is when it's probably the coldest, and then it starts to warm up a little bit again in March, April, May. So yeah, and then I would also say that the biggest difference for me in terms of Christmas and how different things are culturally is that we make the 24th a big deal. So the 24th of December is the main event. And then the Christmas Day is kind of like our Boxing Day here. It's just, where you can see your in-laws, or you go see extended family, or you just do nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of a bit of a common misconception, isn't it, about the white Christmas? Because I lived in the UK for a semester of uni, and everyone there, we thought we would get a white Christmas, and everyone's like, no, it never snows until January. And I think it did have a little flutter just before we had left, because we weren't going to be there for Christmas. We were coming back to Australia, and we were out doing snow angels in a millimeter of snow. We were so excited, and all the English people were laughing at us. But yeah, so you don't really get that white Christmas that comes later,
Yeah.
but the Christmas Eve thing, I love that, because my children have a Dutch father, and so we have often celebrated on Christmas Eve. And also, I think, when you're a family that has separation, you have to sort of split your time up over Christmas as well. And so we often will do the Christmas Eve, because that's my favorite part.
Lovely.
And it's when it's all really nice, and you can do a nice dinner and all of those things. And then Christmas Day, you can just chill by the pool and do nothing.
Yeah.
And so
What I also love about this is following Santa, and, especially being younger. And Christmas Eve is such an exciting time for children as well, because, we want to stay awake to try and catch Santa to deliver all the presents. And they all fall asleep before that. And one day I remember I think I must have been 11 or 10 or something. And I missed Santa by that bit. And we opened the door because we had just come back from being at family, and we opened the door, and my dad was inside, and he just said, "You missed it. You missed him. He was just here delivering all the presents, and all the windows were open because he was going through the window. There were no chimney in that apartment, and so it just brings so much magic, around that time, because you try to stay awake. And so yeah, I really love that. I miss that sometimes, but I also really love the culture here of having a Christmas day and Christmas lunch, and it's hot, and I love that as well. So it's just, I feel like I've got the best of both worlds, really.
Yeah, it's so nice because it's in the middle of our big holidays, and so it feels like it kind of breaks up those big holidays as well in a way. And that's always, it's nice to be at the beach for Christmas as well. And so what about what you eat? Has that changed from being when you were in France to now?
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually, because I've got family here now, we've got also my in-laws coming over on this week, this coming weekend, and I thought, well, let's do a traditional French Christmas dinner. So we're going to have a bit of an early Christmas on Saturday, and
So
in Adelaide in
what's a
particular.
traditional French Christmas
Yes.
dinner?
So essentially, we've got. So the first thing that I had to get sorted was the dessert because the dessert is very particular. So it's called bûche de Noël, which is, I think it's a Yule log. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. And I believe also it's known in the UK as well, and in some other like Switzerland and some other European countries. And it's essentially a sponge cake that is with like some frosting, and you roll it around so that it looks like an actual log, and then it looks like a wooden log type of. It's just a bit of a strange thing, but that's just what we know. And then you decorate it, and with like a little Santa or a bit of pine trees and things like that, so it just looked like a little scene of Christmas. So we have that for dessert, and then for for dinner we
We have
have
those at our local bakery. I
you
might get
do.
one for Christmas and decorate it and tell my kids that we're
Yes.
having a French dessert.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And so then I think with the dinner in general, so we have like very hearty, so you'd get a roast chicken with some roasted veggies. Like that's probably the biggest, the most, common dinner, I would say. Almost
Roast
like if
chicken.
you think
So
about
not turkey,
Thanksgiving.
chicken.
Yeah, I would probably say chicken is a bit more common, or like, a very hearty like beef or that sort of thing. It just needs to be very hearty and hot and warm. Um, yeah, I would say that it's probably the biggest. It just resemble every time I see Thanksgiving scenes like on TV and things like that, it just reminds me of Christmas in France, except it's not turkey, with like the gravy and all that, very fatty food, that sort of things, I would say. But I don't know if there's a typical food that people eat aside from that Christmas log that we have for dessert. I can't really pinpoint if there are any very specific particular food that people eat around Christmas, I would say. But roasted things, probably.
And so
Yeah.
do you now having when you have your Australian Christmas, do you get into prawns and things like that
Yeah.
for Christmas or yeah. Embrace the Australian.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I've very much embraced it. We always do when we do Christmas with family, we always do the grilled prawns, and I absolutely love them. My husband's uncle does them very, very well. So I'm always looking forward to that, and just, just a potluck of things, and you just, some salads and things like that. And so that's always just very lovely, and I've just really always enjoyed that. The only thing I would say that really always, even after 13 years, is just always a little bit funny to me is just that we don't do anything on Christmas Eve, and Christmas Eve I still see it as a big deal, and so I feel a bit weird to not do anything. But I'm sure I'll get used to it eventually. Sometimes it's just nice to do nothing as well and get ready for the big festivities the next day. Yeah.
So yeah, I can't imagine having a big Christmas Eve and still trying to wrap all the presents because that's what I'm usually doing on
Absolutely.
Christmas Eve.
Yes, absolutely,
And
absolutely. Yeah.
and what about your puppies, your fur babies? Do you buy presents for them on Christmas?
Yeah, so well so we've got two cats. It's every day's Christmas for them. So they get they get presents every time. And then our puppy, we just got him in June. So I would
So this will
say
be his first Christmas.
yeah, I've been thinking about it, and I've been thinking about because I love doing things like making things myself. So I've been thinking about making him like a little special little Christmas bandana. I would like do embroidery on it or something like that, I think.
Cute.
Um, Yeah, but yeah, other than that, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't have much time to figure it out, I guess.
Yeah,
But
it's coming up fast. And
yeah.
do your cats like to climb your Christmas tree, or they behave
So
and don't do that?
yeah, they're very naughty in that way. So we don't have a Christmas tree. I know I'm going to sound like such a Grinch, but we don't have a Christmas tree. I have been thinking about getting because I've got a lot of plants at home, so I like to like put little bubbles on the plants just to, make them a bit festive. But if we get a Christmas tree, it would be like an outdoor, like a live one, I think, just a small one from a nursery, I would say. But yeah, they're naughty like that. So we are very
Yeah.
limited in decoration that we can have.
This is, yes, I did the same thing last year. I had a tree outside because we just had a new kitten, and our old cat used to love to climb the tree, and it would often get full, full all the way over. So I don't know. This will be the first Christmas that we've got a full tree indoors that's fully decorated. At the moment, he's just hiding underneath it and then like
Yeah.
kind of pounces on people as they walk past. He hasn't quite worked out climbing it yet, so we'll see what happens. We'll see if we get to the end of December and have no disasters. But at the moment, he's just like wide-eyed looking at the lights and thinking that's cool. So we'll see how we go. And so
Fingers crossed.
Anna, yeah, so Anna, let's talk about Christmas in Brazil because you are from Brazil and you've been on the sunny coast for what, a couple of years now. So what is Christmas like in Brazil?
So, because like the families are also very European in some ways, so it's similar to what happens in France. So, for us, like Christmas Eve is way more popular. And of course, because like there is this idea of Brazilians enjoying parties, which is true in so many ways. So yeah, I think Christmas is a big thing for us. It's usually the occasion when we celebrate with our families and my family back home, for example, like one of my grandmas, she had 7 kids. So as you can imagine, it's like such a big family and they all have like 3 kids, 5 kids, so a lot of us. And we usually have like a special dinner and people cook a lot of different things. So yeah, roasted meats as well, some special desserts. We have something that is called pudding, which is like a caramel flan, I would say, and everything is Brazil in Brazil is very sweet. So yeah, it's part of the tradition. And there's also a meme around the fact that some people like to put raisins in everything, like that they are cooking for Christmas. So some people love it and others just hate it. So there's some fun around it. And we also have farofa, which is made of cassava and very popular in Brazil as well. Like it's something very rich and it's actually salty. So yeah, we usually celebrate uh, in Christmas as well. We also have a lunch, but I would say that the dinner is the most special part of the celebrations for us. And yeah, because I've been in Australia for 2 years, I think I celebrate the two ways now because we have like our Aussie friends and we have the work party. So it's a thing for me. I'm still learning about how it works. But we also have like a Brazilian community here on the coast, so we are still doing everything for Christmas Eve, and it's really special. I think it's a moment to celebrate and to spend some time together. We have the Secret Santa as well, something similar. And in some families, like if you have someone from Portugal, which is common for us in Brazil. So one of my grandpas, he was Portuguese. There's a lot of cod as well because it's very popular to them. So it's something that people like to eat for Christmas. Not myself because I've been vegan for 8 years. So my family just tries to adjust the meals for us, and we have like the same types of food, but in their vegan ways. So yeah.
And is it cold this time of year in Brazil, Anna?
Not at all.
No,
Our
it's hot.
weather's pretty much the same as the weather that we are having here in Australia. And my family is from the coast too. So yeah, Christmas is usually rainy and really hot. So it feels
Like
pretty much the
home.
same, like home. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what's your favorite Australian food tradition to have here? Because do you eat prawns? You don't eat prawns.
She's vegan.
Yeah.
I know that. Sometimes vegan also eat fish.
Yeah, like this year, one of my friends at home, like she's very talented when it comes to food. So she will try to make a vegan pavlova for us, and I'm really looking
How
forward
do
to
you
it.
make a vegan pavlova with no
I don't know.
eggs?
We will have to ask
Were
Chickpeas.
we
her.
Googling it last year? I'm pretty sure we were Googling it
Yeah,
last year,
but yeah, it
It's like
sounds
the main
exciting.
ingredient. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's chickpeas because you can replace.
Chickpeas.
Yeah,
I
it's like egg
have heard
whites
that
is your
actually.
chickpea.
Yeah.
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 I don't know how that would taste with that. Yeah. All right. Well, can you make one for us, Anna, and we'll try it? I love
I will.
pavlova. I don't know if I can eat chickpea
We'll bring some to the
pavlova.
office. Yeah.
And so you celebrate Christmas Eve as well, and then open all your presents Christmas morning.
It depends. It depends on how anxious your family is. So when we were kids, in some Christmas, my mom would tell us that we should wait until midnight. But then eventually she just decided that, okay, 9 p.m., Christmas Eve, let's open the gifts. So it really depends. I think some of the most traditional ones, they will wait, but most of us will just open the gifts and like continue the party, which is the most important thing, I guess.
And so, Jane, you wouldn't survive in Brazil because I know you don't like raisins in dessert. So, what is your Christmas meals and day look like?
Yeah, so when Anna was saying about the raisins, it did remind me about the great rumble debate here in Australia. Do you put the sultanas in the rumbles or not? So you just do both. You just do both. And I have both. And if the sultanas have been soaking in rum for like a week, then I tend to have the sultana rumble. But
So only if they're
tradition
soaked in
growing up-
rum.
a tradition for us growing up was making the rumbles, and so that's something we like to have. I know it is more traditional here in Australia, like you were saying, to have the prawns and the cooler meats like ham or whatever carved up on Christmas Day, but I do like doing the big Christmas Eve dinner because I actually, as much as I love Christmas, I get sad on Christmas Day because then I'm like, oh, it's like over now. So I really like relish in, Christmas Eve. So we always do like roast pork, crackling, roast potatoes. We always made sure everything was neat for Santa to arrive and that. And so, yeah, we still carry that tradition now. And then on Christmas morning, you get up early, it's hot here in Australia, open your presents, go for a swim. But yeah, we do all the roast foods as well. I'm not a huge prawn fan or seafood fan, so yeah, roast turkey, roast beef, and we do a big family gathering on Boxing Day now because, everyone's grown up, has their own families, own kids, and it's quite hard getting everyone together. So we do a big Boxing Day thing with one side of my family. And we do it all again. So it's sort of like 3 days of festivities, a lot of rumble.
And what time do your kids wake you up Christmas morning?
Well, they don't tend to wake me up
later
now.
now?
They're early risers. They get up at like 5 or whatever, but they, now that they're older, they sort of know to wait until at least after 6 or else I'll be grumpy for the rest of the day. So they wait till 6 and they've sort of peeked in their Santa sacks or coming to tell me excitedly what they got. So yeah, early, but that's okay. You make the most of the day, so I don't mind.
Well, my mum is very much of the prawns and cold meat design. So that would be all I ever had growing up would be prawns and bread. And sometimes if I was lucky, because I wasn't a huge prawn eater, we might get a hot chicken from the from the takeaway shop because she would never want to cook a roast. But this year, my mum will be coming and we'll be having our Christmas Day on Boxing Day, which is also my mum's birthday on Boxing Day. So we'll be celebrating it all in one. So I think we'll still be having the prawn tradition, but I will also cook pork roast in our barbecue because I that's my favourite. My kids hate roast, they say, but they can just eat it anyway. So, and there's usually a lot of chocolate that's eaten for breakfast. That's usually how it rolls. The kids get into the chocolate first thing and then just burn the energy off for the rest of the day while we sit in the sun and swim in the pool. So I am very much looking forward to the Christmas week coming up. So yeah. Well, it's been great to chat about what everyone's different Christmases look like and get excited for what's to come in the next few weeks. And we hope that all of our laundry ladies and lads and anyone listening have a really fantastic Christmas and enjoy that time with your families. And we look forward to chatting again soon.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.